What's up, everyone? This is the Fraser podcast. I'm with one of my favorite hip hop artists in the world and best friends, and just great overall sports genius, Sincerely Collins from Phoenix, Arizona, Dobson High. Look it up.
Damn, Dobson High though. Damn, if only I knew some Canada schools.
Yeah. I always like to say like West, like, oh, I went to Denver West or South, you
Denver
know?
West.
Yeah, there's like
No,
a Denver South, there's a Denver North.
oh my gosh.
Is there a
Okay, well,
Phoenix South?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, it doesn't
I
work
think
all the
those are
time.
just like the ones that are named after like presidents, dead presidents.
That makes sense.
Yeah, those are our versions.
All right. Today we're talking NBA as we kind of finalize the big offseason acquisitions and all else. Maybe a little Olympics teaser, best bets to make some future bets, whether you want divisions, rookie of the year, MVPs, obviously the champions. Thoughts on Bronny? Where the Lakers, Warriors, Suns go from here, and really just chatting basketball, which Collins is a great person to chat basketball with. To dive into something and get into maybe winners and losers. Sorry, not winners and losers, the best offseason acquisitions and the worst. I went to look at like what I liked for divisions and that sort of thing. And the Pacific Division is like a weird, terrible but good. For the listeners, and I just want Collins your reaction to this. In the Pacific Division, if you don't know who's in it, listeners, it's the Phoenix Suns, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Sacramento Kings, the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Golden State Warriors, which on paper and their name sounds like the hardest division in the world. But right now, I feel like it's really shitty.
Yeah, a lot of mid. A lot of mid.
It's
I won't say they're bad, just a lot of. I just feel like it's a lot of
yeah,
mid. Like, you know.
they could be like seventh. Like I don't think anyone is better
Mm-hmm.
than sixth on this list. But like the names, you think, oh, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, lock it in.
Right. Right. Yeah. No. I
So,
mean, with the way that the West looks now, that's not very strong.
no. What being a Suns fan, how do you feel about where they can go next?
Man, all those picks, man, and all those moves they made when we were already doing it. I just feel like they did a little too much, and then realized it, and then just like doubled down on it. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
so it's a little frustrating, but I also feel like just because we've seen things not work doesn't necessarily mean that it can't work.
Mhm.
I'm not sure about the coach change. I'm not sure about that yet. I wasn't sure about the first coach to begin with, but that's a whole nother story. I'm hopeful as a Suns fan. I'm hopeful, but like you said, I don't see them doing anything more than a 7 seed at very best, and sneaking some a playoff series or two at very best, like very best. And that's a sneaking the series, not just winning the series, you know?
Yeah, and that's what's crazy about the Suns and the Lakers is they were so healthy last year in terms of Durant and Booker. Obviously, Beal was in and out, and LeBron and AD were healthy. But that was like the best case scenario. Now KD's a year older, LeBron and AD are years older. It's just like I don't think they can do that again. So I'm almost scared it's going to be even worse. As a
Yeah.
fan of just basketball, like I want to see KD be great, but he's old now.
Mm-hmm.
He's never healthy, and he was healthy last year. That Bradley Beal signing was just that was rough.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
really
weird.
rough.
It was interesting, weird. We waited so long to even see him, to
Mhm.
even see him play. And then
Yeah,
obviously, there was no chemistry once he came back, and then anytime there was chemistry, it was just few and far between. Yeah, man, and we need some hustle guys, and we need some dogs, and we kind of just have a bunch of some pretty scores, and that's pretty much it.
yeah, and I like even if you traded Durant, I don't know who's going to trade for him. That's a lot of money, and you have to trade a ton back. I don't know. It's a weird place to be on. Where I think you kind of alluded to it earlier. Had you just kept Booker as kind of a cornerstone and built around him,
Yeah,
kind of like what OKC is doing with like Shea, like just kind of build slowly. Don't just okay here. We have all this money.
yeah,
Let's blow it all.
yeah. Now, like that was the first plan, and now it's like, all right, we tried. That's
Yeah,
kind of what it feels like.
and it sucks too because the Lakers can't do anything really, and the Suns can't do anything, and really the Warriors can't. I mean, we're gonna talk about it more, but the Suns, or sorry, the Warriors. Who doesn't love Steph Curry? Everyone loves Steph Curry. You want
Yeah,
to
I
see
feel
him do
bad for the guy.
well, yeah. And now he can't do anything because Draymond's got a bunch of money. Wiggins, unfortunately, doesn't care about basketball. It doesn't see him anymore, or whatever happened to him. It's just three teams that could be great are just stagnant and they can't do anything about it, really.
Yeah, it's
Which,
weird.
yeah, which brings me to, I guess, we're going to do 5 favorite offseason and 5 least favorite offseason moves, or a mix of. I guess a least favorite offseason move for me, which I'll start, would be to go off the Warriors thing. Is they're talking about they're signing Lauri Markkanen, but where does that put the Warriors? Sixth, seventh? I mean, it's
I don't even
just
think it puts them there with after losing Clay, who you don't
yeah,
like.
it's just not really much that they can do. There's no one out there that they signed Buddy Hield. Who cares? I mean,
Yeah,
he's a nice piece, but when you look at how stacked these other teams are, it's really they're like held hostage by Draymond. I think they just need to blow it up. Get rid of Draymond. They just got rid of Clay.
yeah,
This year maybe a throwaway year, and then give Curry 2 more, 3 more good years after that. I don't know.
yeah. I think it's time. I think after Clay left and after the last couple of seasons, I think it's just time to figure out something for the end of Steph's career because I mean he deserves it. He deserves to get one more shot at it and not just be you know sitting at mid,
Yeah,
sitting in the mid conference or the mid whatever.
and that's really like the worst place to be in any sport. As like a Vikings fan, I know all too well just going 9-win seasons over and over and being the first exit in the playoffs or just missing the playoffs. It's like you don't get any good players and you're just kind of stuck in the shittiest
Well,
place to be in sports.
I feel like as a fan of a franchise who hasn't won one, which is the Suns, for me, it's it's kind of a weird situation because I remember so many years of just not even getting close to being in the playoffs in a couple different eras, and then getting really, really close to getting close a couple of times, and then there was the one time where we ran into Michael Jordan, of course,
Mm.
and I feel like sometimes for those cities, it's a little bit easier to deal with middle of the line because sometimes you're just so used to being out of the playoffs. You're just happy to get more basketball. You're just happy to be able to root for something, even if you know it's
Yeah.
it's fugazi. But but when you're used to winning and you start becoming middle of the line, that's when it's like no, like the Warriors have been in how many of the last like decades finals, like 8 of them or something like that,
Hmm.
or 7, and it's like, dude, you're used to winning, and you got a guy who's used to winning, and he's the one who really led that ship. Like, you need to blow it up and give him one more chance.
Yeah, and he's still got at least 2 more prime years left, maybe 3. I mean,
At his position, he should be able to
yeah,
chill because he can move to shooting guard.
exactly.
You know, be Allen Iverson for a little bit.
And it's not like he was all defense or all rebound team at all. It's not like that really matters. He doesn't have to bang in there and get hurt or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He could go somewhere and essentially be what KD was for them in their last two, or their middle two championships.
Yeah.
You know
It'd
what
be
I mean?
crazy if he left. I feel like he doesn't need the money. I bet he stays. He'll be one of the few. There's a difference between him and KD, right? Like I feel like he will have that. It's his city forever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay. Like
I guess it wouldn't even have to be leaving his city, he could still become that just for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah,
You know, like
definitely.
kind of give the team to someone else a little bit, just a little bit, but be able to spot up and shoot and just like be a sniper on a team that's built a different way than the teams he's already been on.
Definitely. Yeah, I think it starts with just shedding some contracts, getting rid of Clay, Wiggins if you have to, or Kuminga. I mean, hanging on to Kuminga because he's cheap would be nice, but it's sad to see they can't really, they don't have a lot of options, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Them and the Suns are in a serious no man's land, and the Lakers.
yeah. What can the Lakers do? They can nothing. They're the exact same place.
Everyone's talking about Zach LaVine, and it's like, what is Zach LaVine gonna do? What is that gonna change?
Yeah.
Oh, it might have
There's,
just cut out.
oh, yeah, a little bit of, I
Oh,
think I'm
there you
back
go.
on there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you were saying about the Lakers that
Zach
I'll edit that
LaVine.
part out.
Everyone's
Oh,
talking about
yeah.
Zach LaVine. It's like, what's
Yeah.
he gonna do? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
yeah. I don't see it
And
anymore.
and LeBron's just so, I mean, he'll never, I hope he does what he did last year. He was insane, but I can't see that again. AD isn't going to stay healthy. It's sad we're seeing a couple of the best players that are most fun to watch just might not do anything the next year, 2 years,
Yeah,
barring something crazy.
it's a turning of the tide for sure.
They should just say, screw it. Curry has to stay in Golden State, but LeBron says, hey, me and Bronny, we're
We're going
leaving.
to
We're going to go.
Phoenix.
Or that too.
We're
Go to
going to
the
Phoenix.
Warriors and try and create like some super old team to go against the young ones. It is great though. I mean, the NBA, the talent right now, oh my god, the West is so incredible to watch. Um,
Yeah.
Another least favorite. It's a favorite and a least favorite offseason move. Actually, do you want to go before I give
Yeah,
another
I'll
one?
go.
You go ahead. You go.
Because are
Sorry.
you gonna say what I think you're about to say?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Are you gonna say it was a favorite for Golden State, but it was a least favorite for
I
Dallas?
wasn't. That
Oh,
was on
okay.
my that was on my list, but go ahead with that one.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that Dallas getting Clay is precisely what they need, and I think it's precisely what Clay needs. Um, Now at the same time, I think Dallas went. I'm not going to say far beyond what they actually should have done or what their talent level was, but in my opinion, Dallas was like a second round out team, and they just
Mhm.
happened to like play freaking good. I don't know if we cuss on here. Play
Yeah, you
really.
can.
They just happened to play really fucking good at the exact right time. They peaked like at the perfect time. It was like 15 games before the end of the regular season, and they went from like ninth seed to like fifth or fourth seed or whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
and then right out of the playoffs, just boom, was able to just knock everybody out. So I think they overperformed. That's the word I was looking for. They overperformed in the playoffs, in my opinion. But Clay now gets them to what they looked like they were last year to in the playoffs more consistently, because they obviously couldn't do that once they came down to the Celtics.
Yeah, they definitely couldn't hit a three to save their life.
Mm-hmm. And I think it
But
revitalizes Clay's career. I think he's gonna take some time, but I think he's gonna be
yeah,
a sharpshooter again. I think he's gonna get real used to being that like just the best shooter on a team that everyone can rely on, and I think it's gonna be good for him. I hope it is.
I was just searching that Clay, how old he is. He's 34. He's on multiple different knees and Achilles, right? A bunch of random stuff.
Yeah, but he don't need to be running around like that. He can just
Yeah,
stand in the corner. Kyrie and Luca, what's he like? I mean, we need a little bit of defense, but
that's what I'm saying. They have no defense in like a league where you need to have a wing defender
mm-hmm.
to guard the Ants, guard the Shays, guard the Tatums. I
Yeah,
just don't think they have anyone who can play defense. Like, sure, they may put up some points, but there's old. Luca's incredible, obviously,
mm-hmm.
but I know him. He's 34, and then Kyrie's I think 33 or 34 this year.
Yeah, he's like 33.
Yeah, he looked tired in the playoffs. He doesn't have that same spring. Still does some incredible things, but I'm
Yeah,
also
but
a K hater, a Clay hater. Clater, we'll call it. Um, I just think if you put him on any other team, not next to the best shooter in the history of the game, he's just a regular dude. He's just Buddy Hield or some guy you've never really cared to watch or heard of. So I'm not as big on Clay as other people are. So
That's crazy.
that's all I have to say.
That's crazy. You saw his 38-point quarter or 28-point quarter or whatever.
Yeah, but I feel like Curry has that
Bro,
Tom Brady edge to him where
the way that man like has upper body strength to shoot over someone when they're like smothering him. Like I just think that if he knows that he has he's greenlit anywhere he goes, and I think when you're greenlit like that and you really are a sniper, because he really is a sniper. Like he really is. He fell off the last couple of years. He came off of an Achilles and an ACL, right?
yeah,
Was it both?
a bunch of things.
Yeah. So I mean, I get that, but I really think just as a pure shooter, I think that like he's not going to do anything incredible, but I think that he's going to bring more of a defensive mentality to their defense, because he doesn't take plays off. That's for sure on defense. And I think that he's a bigger body. I guess what is he, like 6'7",
Yeah, I was just looking up his info while you're talking. 6'6".
6'6"? So I guess
Yeah,
he's a medium body.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I just think that for what Dallas is looked at to be, he just brings them to that level. Because I just think they overperformed last year. So I just think that he makes them better, and he's exactly what they needed with Clay and Luka isoing on every play. You need that spot up shooter just standing there, just waiting to chuck them.
It is nice that you can depend on him to hit a wide open 3-pointer, unlike what they had in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give that. But yeah, all right. Another one of those kind of favorite and least favorite I have is KCP to Orlando. It's a favorite for Orlando, but it's a least favorite for Denver. Only because I feel like, and I said this on a different podcast, where Denver went from unquestioned the best team in the league like last 2 years. The odds were the best. They were gonna kill it, and now they're just. I think they're ranked fourth, like for betting on the championship, and they're like kind of tied with 9 other teams. It's
Yeah,
wild. Like they've just kind of fallen off.
I don't really buy their fall off. I don't
Yeah.
buy the fall off. I think that like I said, I think that the Mavericks, they just like caught that stride. Because did they lose to the Mavericks?
No, I think they lost to Ant, right? They lost to the T
They
Wolves.
did. They did. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that's a different story. So I mean, that's an interesting one. But I think that if any team other than the Mavericks was in the finals, I think it would have been a very interesting series. And I
yeah.
think everyone kind of knew going into that series that it wasn't going to be too interesting, especially after the first game. But like you put Denver in the finals, you give them a couple of wins and put them in the conference finals. I think they beat the Mavericks, and you get them in the finals, then I think you make it interesting for the Celtics. So I think that they just tired out. I think they, the same way that the Mavericks peaked, I think they ran out. So it's just about, I think that's a coaching issue. Did they fire their coach this year?
No, I think they kept him.
They kept.
Yeah, he did a
We'll
pretty
see.
good job.
Yeah, so I think he just needs to make some adjustments in the season and do some focusing on that, so they can make a better playoff run, have a better stride.
Yeah, I just think they like didn't get any better. They actually got maybe a little bit worse losing KCP, where everyone else got better, like
Did they
around them.
just lose him?
Yeah, I think like a week ago.
No, but I mean, like, did they only
Oh,
lose him? Like, did
oh yeah,
anything
yeah.
else happen?
But then they also Bruce Brown last year, and someone else last year that was like a good role player. I feel like they keep on staying the same.
Did they sign anybody? Did they get
No,
anybody?
not that I know of.
Hmm.
Not one impactful. And that's kind of where my point is. All these other teams are kind of getting better. like even Orlando. I'm obviously they can beat Orlando, and I think Denver is still at the top of the league, but they're not unquestioned the top anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
other
think if you
teams are
have
catching up.
I think if you have Jokic, you're always looking to make a move to make your team
Yeah.
better. So
Mhm.
I think they'll do something pretty soon. They're probably just waiting for something to make sense.
Yeah, and I know just the salary cap is kind of killing them as well because obviously they have to pay a ton of money for Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray. So it's
What's his contract like right now?
I don't know. I just know that they're definitely close to that
Because he's
first,
getting
second apron. Yeah,
they need to.
no doubt.
I would have kept KCP and
KCP, no
yeah,
doubt, and
yeah.
Bruce Brown. It's crazy. But I like it for Orlando. I mean, KCP in Orlando is exactly what they need. I would have rather had KCP over Clay, but that's a different thought. So I think Orlando is just like a poor man's OKC, a poor East OKC, just
Yeah.
still really nice.
Who do they have? They have um
They have a
what's his
crazy
name?
team. I'm trying.
Was it Pacheco? That's not his name.
No,
What's that
I know
dude's
exactly
name?
what you're talking about. Franz, what Wagner?
They have Wagner,
Yeah, Paolo Banchero, Jalen
Banchero.
Suggs.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
just
they
have a
are kind of.
nice.
Yeah, they are kind of
Markel
like a poor
Fultz been
man's
playing good.
Thunder.
Yeah, but I think they'll do like one of my bets is I have them like
Markel
over for
Fultz playing good
wins.
is wild. Like
Mm-hmm.
that really like made me happy to see him playing good because that was a weird story.
Yeah, and Pop Isaac, he was in the running for sixth man or defensive player of the year. He was right there though as well.
Really.
So they have a sneaky good young team. They're gonna be fun to watch for a long time.
What did they end in last year in the standings?
Uh, I want to say they're fourth
Okay, that makes
in the
sense. That's what I was
East.
thinking.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I think they're fourth in the East. They're a fun little team to watch. Um, did you have another favorite off season
Let's see.
or least favorite off season?
Let's see. I think Paul George to Philly is just obvious.
Yeah.
Um,
How do you think they'll do with that? I think
depends
it's
on
incredible on paper,
it.
right?
Just depends on Joel.
Yeah.
It depends on Joel. Like is he gonna be? You know, is he just gonna be like a stat stuffer and stay injured as well, or is he gonna have room for Paul George, and is Paul George gonna have room for him? And, which I think the answer is yes. I think Paul George
Mm-hmm.
is totally fine with just taking the points as they come and
Yeah.
being that guy. He's such a big body and a great defender, dude. Like it's gonna improve them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think as long as they stay healthy, they're going to be incredible.
Yeah,
But it's just Embiid and Paul George staying healthy is a rough one.
I'll go as far as to say this. I'll say them getting Paul George feels similar to when we found out that Boston got Porzingis. Like
Yeah.
at least for me, like it was like this is a guy who's like been a little underwhelming when it comes to like delivering, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like the position he plays and what he's gonna be for that team specifically, long body, defender, can score, and if you want anybody picking up like easy shots, you want one of these guys picking up easy shots because they're not used to getting easy shots. They're used to shooting hard shots. So
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of that where it's just like they had an amazing team already, and they couldn't get over the hump, but this could give them a little bit of ease, the same way it felt like Jalen and Jason were a little bit at ease when it came to
Mm-hmm.
the load on their shoulders this
Yeah.
year.
It's definitely a nice pickup. And then they also got Andre Drummond. I want to say uh, two other incredible. Who was it? No, I totally forget. They signed two other legit players to their team. So, I mean, they're looking ridiculous. Oh, Eric Gordon, Andre Drummond, Caleb Martin, and then they
Eric
re signed
Gordon.
Kelly Oubre. So, it's going to be a nasty team.
So the Suns lost Eric Gordon, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, the
Who else?
Suns are not looking great.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not fun.
Uh, a favorite offseason move I have will go to the draft. I'm Canadian, as we know, and I'm just got to go for it. Zach Edey, drafted by Memphis. He played in the summer league yesterday. 14 points, 15 rebounds. Sure, it's just a summer league, but I don't know if he can get up and down the court with Memphis.
How tall is
Ja,
he?
like 8 foot 9. He's something ridiculous. He's like, I think he's got the second or first biggest wingspan in the league now. Um, he won 2 back-to-back college players of the year. Just a monster. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting if he can get up and down the court well, if he can defend well. But Memphis, when we get to our bets of the year, I got Memphis as a sneaky
Oh,
kind of up and coming team now that Jaw's back. So
I got you, Zach Edey, the dude from that movie.
Purdue, what movie?
The movie. You don't know the movie?
No.
The movie with the one that had Anthony Edwards in it. He's the dude that's throwing
Oh
against Anthony Edwards.
no, that's not Zach Edey.
Dude, that's him.
No, that's like a
It's
guy from
gotta be.
Spain. That's a
Is it
guy from
really?
Spain.
Oh,
Yeah.
that looks just like him.
I don't think so. They're
Oh,
white.
damn. Well,
Actually,
wait.
Zacky's black.
Nah, now this is getting crazy.
Yeah.
This dude's black.
Yeah. He's half black.
That's why his lineup's so crispy.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
My bad. This is all making sense now.
The other guy is Spain, and his name kind of sounds like Banchero, I want to say too, but I forget his name. He's
Damn.
Spanish.
I
He's
thought
got a
that
twin
was him
brother
when I saw
too.
him get picked.
Yeah, no. So, did you have any other favorite or least favorite off-season moves?
I'm trying to think if I liked any draft picks. Everyone's
How'd you feel about DeRozan to the Kings
um
and the Bulls again getting nothing in return?
I mean, I guess if I'm a Kings fan, I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. You know, we got another bona fide star.
Mm-hmm.
The MIDI magician they call him, but he also seems to me like one of those players that kind of lives in no man's land a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he kind of, I don't know. We'll see. I don't have much of an opinion on that. I'm just waiting to see on that.
Yeah. That's fair. I'm trying to scroll through. I think we kind of nailed. If you have any others, if not, I can go on to some best bets. But if you have any other winners or things you really liked from the off season,
Dude, I mean, Lauri Markkanen's about to change the entire framework of Golden State, dude.
yeah,
They might be number one next year.
yeah, right. Oh, I
That's
feel
that.
so bad for Steph.
Yeah, that's a bad one, I guess.
Yeah,
Not because Lauri's not great. Lauri's awesome. I'd actually like to have him on the Suns, but
yeah,
just because it's not enough. Like it's just not. That's not the move, you know.
no, and I don't think it's been like confirmed yet, but it's like it's close.
Oh,
I
it's
wonder
not
who they
confirmed
would
yet.
trade.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Oh, so Lauri's not a free agent.
No, they got to trade for him.
Got you. Okay.
Which again, like, what do they have to trade? The Warriors don't really have a ton, so I don't know.
In retrospect, would you go back and keep Jordan Poole and trade Draymond?
Yeah, I would have done that from the jump, but I guess like that's the smart player move. But I'm sure they kind of have to be
You think it was all
like,
political?
and just like family, right? Like I'm sure they are family. They've been together for so long.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Like it's probably hard to make these decisions.
Yeah, especially as quick as they have to make them.
Mm-hmm. But I definitely would, like, from just flat out no friendships and no family ties or anything like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because if I'm thinking about it, like Lauri Markkanen, Kuminga, Curry, and Jordan Poole, that for some reason that just sounds not too bad to me. You know what I mean? Like, and then having a big five, like having like one more, like having
Yeah.
a center that can really protect the paint.
Yeah. It's wild looking back. Like, I think Wiseman was in the Ant draft.
Hmm.
I think they took Wiseman instead of Ant.
Yeah.
And so that's unfortunate. And then Wiggins, like he was the second best player in the NBA Finals, and then whatever happened to him personally, he's just turned into a
Hmm.
shell of himself. So they had an incredible player. Now he's just mad. Wiseman was a flame out. It's kind of rough that they missed on some things, definitely, or had bad luck. Like one of your best players punching one of your second best players in the
Yeah.
face.
That's crazy. That's wild.
I'm gonna go into some bets.
Okay.
The which we were talking about the Nuggets. So to win the NBA Finals, the Celtics are plus 300. They're 3-1. Oklahoma City plus 750. The Nuggets 9-1. So to your point, while I said I'm not happy with what happened with the Nuggets
Hmm.
at 9-1, I think that's really nice value to bet them to win the championship because last year they were 5-1.
Right.
So they're not twice as bad, you know?
And I mean, I'm willing to bet they make some early or mid season acquisitions.
Yeah. Another one, the Bucks 15-1, which the one thing I actually like more than that, maybe not the Bucks to win, but Giannis. Giannis' MVP is 6-1. I feel like people forgot about him where Joker, Luca, SGA are all higher than him.
Yeah, Giannis is like he could win it any given year
Right?
for the next 10 seasons.
Exactly.
Like, that dude is different.
I love like the value you can get with for him. And then also Ant, like if they get rid of Cat, I think the only reason Ant can't win the MVP is because he's got, two other legit players around him. But we did see Gobert was kind of meh in the playoffs. But Ant is 15-1 for the MVP. So I kind of like that just as an exciting thing to watch.
Yeah. I think Ant's height makes
But
it hard for him to win MVP.
yeah.
I think he has a lot of spectacular moments, spectacular games, but like the consistency of like a Jokic or a Embiid or someone like that to have huge dominant, and obviously Giannis to have huge dominant games way more
Mhm.
consistently, it's just tough to compete against that.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're hitting layups and getting
Hmm.
easy rebounds where he's got to literally jump out the gym, beat a man, do this, do that.
Exactly. He's got to do
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. No, that makes
So, but I
sense.
mean, if he's MJ's kid, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely is.
We'll see.
Uh, Another favorite bet I'm going to do. What do you think Wemby's odds are for MVP? I'm not saying he's going to win, but I'm just saying I like the value.
His what did you say that Giannis's were?
Giannis was 6-1. Embiid 6-1.
I would think that he's like one of the like most bet on. So I would say maybe like 12-1.
Yeah. So it was 35-1. Now it's 31-1.
Okay, so 30-1. So it's still pretty.
Yeah. So,
But
I mean,
that's a good bet though.
throw $20 on it,
Yeah.
why
Hmm.
not?
Absolutely.
I think it's good value.
I would think there'd be a lot of people just betting on him to win it just off the hype. But I
Exactly.
guess
I always like to bet on people I want to watch, so I watch them more. Like Ant, like it's fun to cheer for Ant. It's fun to
right.
cheer for Wemby and be like, oh my god. And then, when they win, you're kind of like, all right, well, I'd rather bet on them than I don't know.
Right.
Do you want to lose money on Joel Embiid getting hurt again for the 20th year in a row?
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing about the rookie of the year. So like rookie of the year, the top ones are Castle is 11-1, which I like that one. Zach Eady's jumps. So he was 8. What was he? I had him yesterday. Eady was 8-1 yesterday since his summer league performance last night. He's now 6-1. He's now the favorite for rookie of the year.
Wow.
But then Reed Shepard with Houston, 10-1. But my point is, I want to bet on one. So then you're like, all right, I'm going to watch this rookie. And then you can also have like the other 3 rookies they're competing with. You watch their games too because you don't want them to do as good, right? So it kind of gives you an excuse to watch more basketball and be like invested.
Right.
If
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I don't know too much about the rookies, to be honest
Yeah,
with you. Not this year's rookies.
it was a terrible class.
Yeah. Bronny at 55 though.
Yeah. How do you feel about Bronny? What's your like
um
overarching take, Bronny take?
yeah, I mean I'm not a hater, man. I'm not
Hmm.
hating on the situation. I'm not hating on none of that stuff. If I was LeBron, I'd be like, you know, just the fact that my like all these dreams of mine have been checked off the list and came true, like I mean, I just can't it's hard to hate on that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like, I mean, we know what it is. Like it is what it is.
Mm.
Like your dad is who he is. He got you in here. Now let's see if you can make something of it. Like if you can
Hmm.
make something of it, then we got a real story. You know,
Yeah.
that that's where that's where LeBron's next challenge lies. Can you make your son? Can you make your son great?
Yeah.
I think that, and I would like to know your opinion on what you think his like maxed out potential is. But
Hmm.
I think that his max potential, he could end up being like a poor man's Drew Holiday. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
shoot a little bit on the outside, distribute, not really looking to score, but when those openings are there, he can get in there and he's really athletic, so he knows how to finish. He's been doing it all his life, and he's done all the best drills and the best everything. Like you put him in certain situations, and he's gonna just automatically deliver the correct way. Um,
Yeah.
so I think if you give him some opportunities and see if he can become a really good defender, you know, it might take him somewhere.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's his ceiling?
I don't know. So Drew, I was just looking at the height. Drew Holiday is 2 inches taller, and I think he's got a lot bigger of an ass and legs. He is older, so Bronny can fill out, of course.
Yeah.
Bronny, I remember he was in the like McDonald's All American dunk competitions, so he's super athletic.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's 6'2", and it's just like me as a white 5'11", 6 foot tall person. It's like basketball is out for me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I need to take up plumbing. I need to be like a carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball for my family is never going to happen.
Right.
And so, like 6'2" is just such a game of length now. Like the people that are
No, for
coming
sure.
in can do it, what he's doing, but have 5 more inches of height and then 8, 9 more inches of reach. It's just,
No, don't get me wrong. I'm saying he'd have to be a dog,
yeah,
like to be a
exactly.
Drew Holiday. Like he'd have to be a straight dog.
Hmm. Which I
But
hope he can do.
that's his potential. Like that's it. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
it.
it's like
Hmm.
he's not gonna be like some sniper shooter. Like you would already see
Exactly.
signs of that, and there's no signs of that.
And I hope he can. I also love that he's been so humble. Like he's literally, I hate all the hate he gets. That's probably my, instead of liking Bronny, I'm more against everyone who hates on him because,
mm,
all right, like his dad's LeBron. Like he didn't ask for that. Sure, he's got some
yeah,
great things that come along with it, but he hasn't been an asshole about it. He's just
hmm
been cool, nice to everyone,
yeah, and he hasn't been
says all the
acting like
right
he's that shit
things.
or anything.
Exactly. Where he could be. I mean, how many rich kids do we know with rich fathers that are complete assholes that we can't stand? You know,
Right.
he could have gone the exact opposite way, but instead he decided to be like the humble Steph Curry's, Patrick Mahomes, you know, rich family, but still being good people. So I hope he
Exactly.
does good. I just don't know. He doesn't excel at any skill. He's not like a great dribbler. He's not a great shooter. But yeah, I think if he can hone in defense, he's supposed to
Yeah.
be really smart. I mean,
Yeah.
LeBron obviously is a genius.
I saw some high IQ stuff in that first game. Just
Mm-hmm.
even just as far as like knowing when to not overdo it, knowing when to uh just completely, what's the word? Like for instance, one of the plays that I remembered the most was literally just him swinging the ball. Like
Mm-hmm.
the rotation was a little bit late, and it was just the right amount of late to where if there was no delay on him swinging the ball, the next pass is the wide open shot. But if
Mm-hmm.
there's any delay of, oh, I'm in the summer league, maybe I need to like show myself right now. Oh, maybe I can pump fake and get a shot. No, like that was a LeBron. Like that guy has the shot. I know
Mm-hmm.
this 2 seconds before it's happening. I'm passing the ball before I'm even getting the ball. Like I could
Yeah.
see it. And so those are the plays that I was like very like, okay, like these are some things that coaches will look at and be like, all right, let's see if he can run an offense, because
Yeah.
he knows basketball. You can tell.
Yeah, I'm just Googling how like tall. I think Chris Paul is the same height. He might be a little bit taller than Chris Paul, but
Well, and you got to also think that about, I want to say like 2 years ago, or maybe even just last year, they started being more accurate with the heights,
mhm.
because it was always a thing. They would give you 2 extra inches.
Yeah.
Pause. they they give you some a little bit extra on your height in the
Yeah.
NBA, and everybody knew that,
I
because
wish I
like
played in the NBA.
AI was supposed to be like 5'11"
Yeah.
type shit, like, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Like him 5'11" running around doing all that stuff is wild.
Yeah. It is like what like met Chris Paul once at like this party, and I was like, damn, this guy's tall as hell. Like
Chris Paul did look tall. Like when
yeah,
I
he's like sneaky tall.
meeting Chris Paul in person, he's tall. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like you're like, all right, you're legit like maybe 6'3", like,
Yeah. You think he's
and
our height, right? But you're like,
yeah, he
oh my
looks like
god.
it on, just like Steph. Steph's a little taller once you see him up close to you. You're like, oh, okay,
Yeah. Like I was a huge Dwayne Wade fan and still am, like my favorite athlete of all time. And on TV, he was the first person I got to see live. And on TV, I thought he was all right, like an inch taller than us. And then in
yeah,
person, he's like a praying mantis. He's an enormous human.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for
Uh,
sure, for sure.
but yeah, well, all right, man. Oh, do you have any Olympic basketball thoughts before we wind it up?
Um, Only that they need to dominate, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I hope that they I mean, I know that's cliche to say, and I know that there's a lot of talent out there, but with the players we have, and if we have a coach that is going to coach and not, just cater to what he thinks is gonna look
Hmm.
right or feel right. Like, as long as they're coached right, like they should dominate, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That I said to my brother yesterday that you guys are so lucky you have Steve Kerr as a coach or like Greg Popovich before, because without them, I think Coach K, another good example, handling those attitudes, I don't think anyone could do, and not
Right,
negative attitudes, like
right.
egos, which the
Just
egos are
big,
fine to
yeah,
have.
big personalities.
Um, but like, who has the ball in their hands at the end of the game?
At the end of the game,
Hmm.
I think you're always giving it to LeBron, as long as he's on the team, and allowing him to make the decision. You're gonna give the ball to LeBron. You're gonna set a screen at the top of the key. You're gonna have a couple of shooters on the side, and you're gonna figure out what they're gonna do to stop you,
Hmm.
and you're gonna read it. You know what I mean? I think that's what you're gonna do as long as you have LeBron. Give it to your
Yeah.
best decision maker.
Yeah, it's almost like he should have the ball. I guess they're all his whoever's defending him isn't going to have his size either. I mean,
No,
so I guess he can always just barrel downhill, and then if that isn't there, Steph Curry's wide open for a three for the easiest shot he's ever made in his life.
right.
Um,
And then
I
you
put my
got
money on.
KD in a corner.
Yeah, that's insane too. Who starts? I just don't understand. Like, I think
That's
it's
a tough
weird,
one.
and not
That's a
only
tough
who
one.
starts, but how much do you play? Because it's not like you've played sports before. If you're playing for 15 minutes or 10 minutes, then you're out for 15 minutes of gameplay, then you're back in for 10.
Mm,
These players, they need to be in the entire time, and they get their subs. But if
right.
you're all of a sudden just, I don't know how you do that, because you got to have Ant on the court. You got to have KD, you got to have LeBron, you have Curry, you got to have centers.
I think it's Team USA, and we got a reputation, and we've seen what
Hmm.
happens when you don't take it seriously enough.
Mm-hmm.
So you just go with what's working. I think that if someone's sitting at the end of a game, you know, if they don't like it, but it worked, like, they got to be happy with that. Like, you have to
Mm-hmm.
know, as a player, you got to be mature enough. Like, if you're on, even just to be chosen for Team USA, there should be a maturity level at that point. I mean, obviously there's egos and stuff like that, but
Mm-hmm.
I just think that there's a bigger picture to it.
Yeah, I think I'm fading Team USA. I've got Serbia as the winners. I watched every FIBA Americas game last summer. Obviously, only Ant was the real superstar on that team on the USA side, but like, and I'm Canadian. I want Canada to win, but
Who do they have?
So the Joker didn't even play. The thing with the Olympics is, so it's a different size ball. It also is a different like feel. The 3 point lines are smaller. There's a bunch of little different rules. So Europeans play way better in the Olympics. So right then they're already, but like having the Joker leading them with like unquestioned leadership,
Right.
versus who has the last shot. Like, no, we know who has the last shot. I just think they have so much toughness. They play so well together. They're like drill sergeants. It's crazy. They're like Germany in soccer. They're just dialed in. They know what they're supposed to do. So I like Serbia. They're also, I like the value. I think they're 10 or 12 to 1. France will be tasty. Canada, I can't wait. Canada has the groups. You want to hear the groups before we kick off? The Olympics groups are rough for Canada. Canada, off the top of my head, they have Spain, Australia, which are 2 and 5 ranked in the world. And then the last chance qualifier could have been a team like Korea or Venezuela. It's Greece with Giannis.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
they got some tough ones.
And then
What's
the US is in with Serbia, and then some teams they should absolutely dominate. But they play Serbia first. I think that could be the final, to be honest. So it's gonna be incredible playoffs, or incredible Olympics. I'm excited for it.
I think that Serbia is going to get washed in the first game, but that's just my opinion. I think that Team USA is on. I don't know, just something about it. Maybe it's just how I feel, and I'm hoping they feel this way. But I just feel like there's just a no tolerance policy right now, like for Team USA.
Yeah, I would agree, and like to put a bow on exactly what you said, and on the podcast, when during the FIBA Americas they got 4th, they lost to Canada in the 3rd place game. They lost to Germany in the semifinal game. I wish they won that tournament. So then LeBron, Curry, Durant, they're just like, the kids got this. It's fine. So once they lost that tournament badly,
right.
they're all like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah, like we ain't doing all that.
Yeah. So
it's almost like they had to do that to get their pride back.
But yeah. All right, man. Well, unless you have any other last second NBA thoughts before we cut out.
No, I think we covered everything.
Yeah. All right, bro. Well, sincerely, Collins, you have a phenomenal talent as a daughter. Is her music out on anything right now? Should I know this?
Her music is everywhere. Yeah, it's
everywhere.
It's under Superstar. SUPAST4R. Superstar. Yeah, you can look it up anywhere.
I think I sub on Spotify. So yeah, incredible stuff. We'll have you back on again. Nice seeing you, my man.
Same to you, sir. Love you, buddy.
I love you too. All right.
Peace.